We're cruising the Great Loop Waterway from Florida to the Great Lakes and back again. Join me and Captain Tom on our yacht Swamp Puppy as we figure out full-time boat life and navigate through rivers, lakes, canals, and more.
Why drink the water from my hand? Contains everything there. Just took my son towards your domain. You can't run it over again.
Good morning, day number 4, cruising America's Great Loop. That's the Anchorage we stayed in last night. And it actually wasn't too bad. We came in on a Sunday afternoon, so we're a little late in the afternoon, so we got waked quite a bit until about 6 or 7 p.m. when all the boats left. Then it was actually a pretty peaceful evening. Not too bad for Daytona, which is not my favorite.
Just took my son towards your domain. You can't run it over again. Don't scream about, don't think aloud. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Don't worry about, don't speak about. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out.
Just looking to see if there's any, kind of what the route is today. It's going to be lots of civilization. I think we'll get some pretty spots. We're kind of near Ormond Beach. In fact, we just passed the Ormond Beach free dock.
I think you can stay there around 5 a.m. to midnight, but definitely not overnight.
Yeah.
I was looking at the charts. It looks like you pretty much have to stay in the channel, and it's pretty shallow outside the channel. Is that what it looks like to you?
From what I can see so far. Now we're going 30 miles today. We're trying to head up to Fort, what's that, Matanzas or something like that? No, that's Apple.
Matanzas.
Matanzas. Yeah, going to Fort Matanzas today is the goal. Hopefully we'll get there. Our ETA currently is 11:40. So that's us doing 7.8 knots, which is pretty optimistic. We got the tide in our favor, so I'm assuming it'll probably be closer to 12:30. Still a nice early day for a 30-mile day.
What time did we actually get started? I didn't even see.
Like right at 7. Whoa! You see that?
Oh, not only did I see it.
Why follow me to higher ground? Lost as you swear I am. Don't throw away your basic needs. Ambience and vanity. Don't scream about, don't think aloud. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Don't worry about, don't speak about. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Don't scream about, don't think aloud. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Don't worry about, don't speak about. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out.
About an hour and a half into our day, we're cruising along at 7.5 knots, which is about 8.7 miles per hour speed over ground. So we lost the current in our favor, but it's not against us at least. We're currently passing by this state park. It's actually pretty through here. Lots of houses on this side, but not too bad for the dense population that we're in. Highlight of the day so far is seeing those rays breach. That was so cool. Elyse was able to catch them on film. That's our second day in a row seeing that. I don't know if it's just the noise of our boat when we get close enough or what it is, but really cool to see. Bridge. This is another massive swamp puppy on your south side of this, you know. Will do. Resume normal safe operation. That means gunning. Just kidding. Got enough money for that? It burns like 15 gallons an hour or something.
How much money do we have left?
We're down to 6.7 knots or 7.8 miles per hour speed over ground. Now we have the current against us, or the tide is against us. So it's increased our ETA to 12:02. I think originally I said around what, 11:30 or 11:40, but it always takes longer than whatever the ETA is, always. I was just saying, look how beautiful real Florida is, like the natural beauty. When you get outside and actually go see what Florida's like, not just the tourist traps. People come here for theme parks and like super touristy crowded areas. But if you get out into real Florida, it's much better. So much wildlife, and everything is green. Right. According to my watch, it's a high of 85 today, the low of 61, and it is currently 77, which is pretty accurate because inside the cabin, my temperature is reading like 77. And then sunset's at 7:50. So our ETA of arrival is now 12 o'clock. We're going 7.3 knots. We're kind of like just behind a bunch of houses. It's actually not too bad through here. It's a Monday, so not a lot of recreational boaters out. And we're just cruising right along.
How's the house battery doing?
House battery, let's take a look.
You said you haven't been running the DC to DC chargers today, right?
No, because our battery was only at 83 when we woke up, and I know that we'll produce enough solar to refill that. So I have the DC-DC chargers off. So we're currently getting 1,000 watts of solar in, or 960, and our battery's already at 90%. And it is 10:42 a.m. So the best solar is typically 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So yeah, our battery will definitely be full. And I kept the DC-DC chargers off because about 700 watts is somewhere around 700 watts is like 1 horsepower. So if I run my DC-DC chargers, essentially we'll use more horsepower and therefore more fuel. Now it's kind of negligible, but why run them and tax the system when we don't need to? The solar will do it with no extra fuel. Absolutely gorgeous through here. It's like a jungle. It's just so pretty. Once we got past Flagler Beach, it kind of slowly turned into less and less houses, and there were a couple state parks, and I mean, look at this. If you just look at it, gorgeous. We've been slowly following behind Good Ship, which is a gold looper. It's a beautiful boat. It's a custom trawler. And this is actually an area of Florida that I've never really personally been. It's absolutely beautiful. We just went through a national research area, if I remember right. I'll put the name up. Beautiful all through here. Just absolutely gorgeous. We got about 30 minutes left before we make it to our anchorage. And the tide is in our favor again. So we're blistering along at 8.3 knots, which is 9.6 miles per hour speed over ground. Currently, we actually seen 10 miles an hour one time. Come over here and I'll just be like, nothing. Just teasing. So as soon as I get those trim tabs completed, wired in, we can go faster than that, but without the trim tabs, we can't. But things are going pretty good. And I also want to mention that our fuel just finally hit the halfway mark. So when we left the dock, we were a little over 3/4 of a tank, and now we're about 150 miles in, and we've used about 1/4 of a tank of fuel. We have a 250 gallon tank, so essentially about 50 gallons of fuel. We're still on fuel from 2024, so we haven't got fuel because the fuel prices are pretty high right now. You know, they're over $6 a gallon for diesel around us. So the plan is to try to make it to Georgia or South Carolina and try to find somewhere with cheaper fuel, or just somewhere closer to the East Coast north of Florida. We'll see.
These two kids are always fighting. You see him? The depth is dropping.
7.3. Came up to 7'3", going around some shoaling here. Now it's like 8 foot. If you look at the water, you can kind of see how there's waves coming through that area because of the shoaling. Back down to 10 foot. This is one of those spots where having bob's tracks is super nice. There's markers out. If you didn't just try to take the middle of the channel, you'd be fine. But if you took the middle of the channel, it's 1.6 feet. You could stand out there. And it's low tide right now.
We can see the fort.
What we're gonna do now, we're gonna go hang out outside of the fort. I'll give you a history talk, tell you what this place is all about, and then we'll go look around. Sound like a plan?
Where did you go, beautiful?
We had a lovely time over at Fort Matanzas. We had a wonderful time at Fort Matanzas. It's kind of funny because we took a big boat to take a little boat to then take a ferry to go to an island because you can't take your boat there. Then when we were done, we came back over and went to the beach and hopped in because why not? This is my third time being in the water in the first week or first 150 miles approximately of the Great Loop. Being a Florida man, I love swimming, and when it's hot, why not jump in? What was really funny is there was originally a boat behind us, which is now in front of us. And so we're coming from the beach and we're like, hey, weren't we in front of them? Like, did we drag? You know, like what happened? Because you can see or not, but the current is ripping through here. Like, take a look at this. So we were worried that the anchor drug. Lo and behold, we definitely did not drag. I'm assuming that they just decided to move closer or something, I'm not sure. It starts to be no wake right here at this sign. And so maybe they were moving because people kind of wait to the last second to actually slow down, if they slow down. I would say my favorite thing about the fort was learning that it was kind of used to protect St. Augustine, because this is the inlet you would take to get to St. Augustine, which is I think 14 miles north of here. And only smaller boats could come through here So those smaller ships couldn't really carry the really heavy cannons to be able to stop, you know, or defeat a fortress like this, which is why they had such a small little fort. So pretty cool that they used this to defend this area for St. Augustine, because that was during the, I think the flag they fly is the first Spanish Empire. Pretty cool. You know, Florida is flower in Spanish, and Florida was a lot larger before, you know, it went all over to Texas. There was basically East and West Florida when the Spanish had it. So being a native Floridian, I think stuff like that is just really cool. And of course, St. Augustine's really close, oldest city in the US.
And our next stop.
And our next stop.